Well, I guess it must be Friday, and it is 2 o'clock my time, but 1 o'clock Pacific on Aloha Friday. And we're going to have to work on your shaka. Yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better. Now, can you just tell me, where are you right now?
Well, where do you think? This is Aloha Fridays. I got a pineapple. I got my sunglasses on. I'm in, and Cathy, you got to move over a little bit. You got to be right in the middle there. Yeah, Cathy's here with the lay on, baby. We're in Hawaii. Where else would I be for Aloha Fridays?
You know, I got to say, you are very dedicated to this free content that we're giving out here on Aloha Friday. You had to make sure that it was truly Aloha Friday. But in all honesty, it can be Aloha Friday wherever you are in the country. You don't have to fly all the way to Hawaii just to experience it, but it adds a great touch to it. With that in mind, though, what does Aloha mean to you? Just off the top of your head. Yeah, what does Aloha mean?
It's a loving way to say, I embrace you. I see you, welcome, or goodbye, aloha. I think it's an expression that goes deeper. It's a love expression of, I'm here, aloha. That's what it means for me. And I love the islands, as you know, and I was so excited when you decided to be quarterback for University of Hawaii because it brought us over here all the time. And I miss it when I'm not here. But it is true. Wherever you are, yeah, I did come over to Hawaii so we could do Aloha Friday here. But, we didn't experience that anyway. And today, as you know, I took my phone. I was going to be on my phone. I'm back up here at the room, but I'm looking at the ocean right now. I'm looking at palm trees, but if I showed you that, it would be all washed out. So hopefully you can see the reflection in my
we can see the reflection. And sorry, go on.
I was going to say, and I had it down by the water. I was in this Shane, the most incredibly beautiful bay. It was breathtaking, and yet I couldn't get any service. So that's why I came back up here, because I promised you I'd be in the great location. I went and found the great location.
Well, I am here in New Mexico, still living Aloha Friday. I got the beauty around me as well. I see people are starting to come in live with us. Hey, if you are joining us right now, just type in Aloha. If you're enjoying your Friday right now and you're living Aloha Friday wherever you are, just say Aloha in the comments. And we could all be living in that love and that feeling of Aloha. So another guy who I know is living the Aloha right now, and he's saying it right now, Cree Morris. He's just eager to get in right now, and that is our guest today. And our guest, Cree, is an absolute monster, and I say that in the best way. I'm always looking up to him because he's about 6'12", and I'm just 6 foot nothing. But he's a rock star. I see a lot of people are living the Aloha today. Aaron Garcia coming in. What's going on, Aaron? I know Veronica's probably there as well, living the Aloha with you. But Cree, former NFL quarterback, made it to the league a couple times, played at San Diego State. Now he's just a rock star coach, and he's giving right now. He's coached me. He's been we have a lot of people coming in on Aloha Friday. I'm loving this. We got
I love that Aloha.
Hey, Christie. And he's actually coached me when I've gone out there and I need some work. When I get to San Diego, I mean, he's the guy to go to. He's the best guy because I agree with his mindset of it starts from the ground up, starts from the feet and everything. And he's really researched and studied how our body works, and he's bringing that to the field, and it's just amazing the difference it makes when I incorporate that stuff. Now he's an extreme focus certified coach, and he's bringing the mental side to this performance training. And I'll tell you, the sky's the limit for him. I'm excited to bring him on. He's got a great story to tell us today.
And as you're bringing him on, whether you're a football player, whether you're in sports, or hey, Tony's on, who's one of the top business consultants out there. Even Nashville he's got some Aloha love coming our way. But it's the stories I love is sports analogies to how do you be better in anything you do. It doesn't matter what you do in life. These principles and the stories that are going to be told today. Don't take, say, well, I'm not a quarterback. Well, some of you, they're going to be quarterbacks on today. You know that. And they're going to take it for their position. You're a quarterback. But, whatever you are, you're a quarterback in life. So see it how it's going to fit you right where you are and what you need from this discussion today. So I just want to throw that on as we bring him in.
Oh, I mean, and the thing about it, you know, we love doing this. This is my Aloha. I just love doing it. And we could, for the content that we deliver, I mean, we could charge thousands of dollars for the nuggets that you could get and apply to your life, whatever it is. But we're doing this completely for free. We just love doing it. We love being a part of this. And we just want to be able to reach as many people and as many pineapple heads.
I did it for a pineapple.
Yeah.
No, come on. I didn't do it for free. I did it for a pineapple.
You probably had to pay for that pineapple. But
that's true.
but in all honesty, it's free. It's great content. The only thing we ask is that you just share it. Share it. This is an abundant life that we live in. It's an Aloha life if you accept it that way. Share this content if you love it. Comment, engage. That's the key to this, is it makes an impact when you actually engage, you actually take action, you take that leap of faith. I know it can be a little nerve-wracking to get into the comment box, but we're already getting a bunch of Alohas. But come and chime in, ask questions, engage with us. That's why we do it, and that's why we love doing it. So I encourage you to do that throughout. It doesn't matter if you're watching this live with us right now or if you're watching a replay. Jump into the conversation. Ask me, Dave, or even Cree, anything that's on your mind. Let's all have fun together.
Hey, Shane, I love it. Let's bring him on. But that's Big Wave Dave to you, not just
boy.
Dave.
Oh, boy. I'm sorry. I apologize. And one thing I got to say, we give him a lot of crap because he loves the word awesome. I don't know if anybody knows Dave. He uses awesome in about every opportunity he has. Those glasses are awesome. Right now, if you're on board with us, just type in awesome. And every time you hear him say awesome, I don't know. Just type in awesome again. Let's just see how many awesomes we can get throughout the
that is an awesome concept.
Oh, there's one right there. You know what? I think I might even comment on one. There we go. I'm going to type in awesome right now to get this going. All right. So let's bring in the man himself, because this, honestly, it's all about the guests. It's not about us. It's about you, the viewers. But I'm excited to bring in Cree Morris. Let's see. Let's get him out of the lobby and into the live discussion. There he is, Cree, and he's got his Aloha shirt on. I love it. He is living Aloha.
I had to try to just compete with Big Wave Dave over there. And I just bought the loudest Hawaiian shirt that I own, which is actually only one, so this is perfect.
Well,
you even have a palm tree behind him. Look at that. You kind of bright sunlight, but you got a palm tree. There you go. Tony just said awesome.
And also, Dave, just to match your kukui nuts, I have my own right here. So just to match my shirt and just to be a part with you like this, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these on for the duration of our talk.
Gosh, I need some. I'm missing mine. I had some for the wedding, and I just got to locate. That's
excellent.
Awesome. Oh, geez. Now I'm saying it. I just said awesome. Jeez. See what you do? See how, energy is contagious? Words are powerful and contagious. Imagine, if you're saying negative words and how that can apply to people. Then they start subconsciously saying those words. So that was a great lesson right there. An awesome lesson.
Awesome.
Stop. Okay. Now you're just toying with it. All right. Let's talk to Cree real quick. I gave you a little background, but what's going on right now in your life? What are you up to these days?
I'm actually coaching football for Rancho Bernardo High School, and we got a game tonight. As a matter of fact, as soon as we get off this conference call here, I'll be taking off and getting ready and going up to Ramona. We play up there. They're super tough, a bunch of country kids that just play with reckless abandon, and so just getting ready for that game.
Jeez, that's exciting. That brings me back to the Friday Night Lights. I get jacked. Oh, yeah. Well, you're gonna show them this replay right before the game, because that's going to get them pumped up, right? I actually had a buddy. He coaches a team out here, and he might be watching right now or watching the replay. He told me, he's like, I used your content from last week, and I gave that same talk to my team, and they went out there and they played relaxed. They played great. It was awesome. They were playing to win and not to lose. And, for any of you guys that missed it, check out the replay of last week with James Erkenbeck, PGA golfer. We're talking about playing to win as opposed to playing not to lose. But now we have Cree Morris here, and a fellow quarterback Actually, all three of us have been quarterbacks at some point of our lives. And you had a great journey, and it's continuing. You're continuing writing those chapters. But one thing that I remember is just so cool. I mean, geez, of course, I'm a big fan of the game as well as a player of the game. But I mean, you got to train with one of the greatest of the greats, Jerry Rice, and he's so famous for running those hills. Tell me a little bit about that experience and how that was.
I got a phone call from a trainer, and he wanted to work with me, a guy named Raymond Ferris. And so I drove up to San Jose, and he put me up in an apartment with another guy. It was a one-bedroom apartment, and the other guy was already living there. So I ended up living on the floor in the living room, and we started training. Well, he was Jerry Rice's trainer. So the first day we go to the field, and he's like, okay, we're going to do this conditioning work. And it's the most insane, intense I've ever done. The warm-up is 3 800s, 3 600s. That's the warm-up.
That's just the warm-up. That's not the full workout.
Then we do 1060s. Then we actually get on the field and do our training work, all the cone work. Then we throw routes. So I actually showed up thinking we're just throwing routes. Not a big deal, right? And I was not the case. So that would be like, so we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the track running that same workout. It was the same every time. And then Tuesday, Thursdays, we would run what is the famous hill that Jerry called Edgewood. And it's the hill. So it took me about a month usually before I could actually get through the whole workouts on time. That long my body to adjust and adapt. So we're at the hill one day, and a guy named Dana Stubblefield, who was played for the San Francisco 49ers and Washington Redskins, was NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He shows up, and Jerry shows up, and I show up, just three of us. Normally there's a group of 8 to 15 guys. So Raymond grabs Stubblefield and goes, hey, come up in 5 minutes. So I'm sitting there going, this is Jerry Rice, and I'm supposed to run with him. About 5 minutes elapses. Jerry looks at his watch. He turns around and he goes, just stay in my hip pocket. Now, honestly, obviously I didn't know anything about what we do now, obviously. And I'm thinking to my man, you're Jerry Rice, and you want me to stay in your hip pocket. So it's about 2.5 miles vertical, switchbacks, hills, and everything else. And so I've been on the trail plenty of times, and Jerry's like, stay in my hip pocket. I said, okay, fine. So we take off. Well, probably a third of the way through, we passed Stubblefield and the trainer Raymond. So now we passed them. We're 3/4 of the way up, and there's a slope, a down slope. It's the only down slope on the whole pattern going up this hill. And the down slope is somewhere between 200, 300 yards long. And normally when I round that bend, I know what's coming, because after that down slope, vertical switchbacks up. And I mean literally vertical switchbacks, right, that we have to run to get to the very top. So normally right down. I'm already at jog pace, but I slow to probably a crawl pace, to be honest with you. And we come around that bend, and Jerry takes off. Boom. Like a bat out of hell. Like full sprint mode. And I'm like, what do? Do I go my pace, or do I try to, follow greatness? Literally, chase greatness. So I took off. Nice, I took off, dead sprint. Obviously, Jerry's a little bit faster than I am. Anyone that knows me, I am not a fast runner. I never was, at least. And so I take off. I get down there. By the time I get to the trailhead that goes back up to the top, Jerry's already on his third switchback up. So I'm trailing him. We get to the very, very top, and Jerry goes, he stops his watch as I get to the top. He goes, you're the fastest quarterback that's ever been up this. Now, this is a bunch of
Jerry Rice said that to you. Yeah.
Probably 8 and some change. Hands down, the fastest I've ever been up that much distance in straight vertical. And so it was a huge accomplishment, because on the way down, you actually stop twice and do repeats on vertical hills. You're running down a different angle, a different trail, the backside, but there's 2 hills that we sit and do repeats on. Jeez. You sprint them up, jog them down. Hands down was the best shape of my life, and just an amazing experience getting to throw routes to Jerry Rice. I think I told you the story, Shane. I threw him a route one day, and he came back and, for lack of better terms, cussed me out. He was pissed. The ball was late. it was a good spot, but the ball was late. And so he really pissed me off. And, being an NFL guy, a guy who wanted to, make it, I'm very competitive. And Dave, I know you are. Shane, I know you are extremely competitive.
No.
So he goes, I'm going to run a dig. That's an 18-yard curl route in the West Coast offense. So it's a 7-step drop for us quarterbacks. And I took 7, hitched, and I threw it as hard as I could. Now, not to brag by any means, but I've broken many fingers in the past, in high school, in college, and even in camp with the Rams, unfortunately. Not on purpose, but it happens. So I threw this ball.
For you got a cannon.
And so Jerry hadn't turned yet, and the ball's halfway to him. And as soon as he hit the top of his route, he turned. That ball hit him dead square in the chest. He caught it, turned, and took off. And it wasn't a joke. Jerry actually caught every ball, no matter how much work we had done, no matter how much training we'd done, and literally would take it the distance. He would go all the way to the end zone and then jog back. So he goes all the way in zone, turns, jogs all the way back, and he shoves the ball in my chest. He goes, throw me like ball like that every single time. Jeez. And from that point forward, I was never too concerned about throwing him early or on time. It was more about just letting it rip, and he just doesn't drop balls. It was just a phenomenal 3-year experience I got to do training with Jerry for those 3 off seasons.
Well, in listening to your story, when I always look at, well, what's the story behind the story? It's that so Jerry Rice is considered the best receiver ever to play NFL football, bar none. So a lot of people say, well, yeah, of course, because he had the gift. No, he had the work ethic. So really in life, what it comes down to, with strong work ethics and repetitive action, you can really accomplish anything. Because Jerry Rice wasn't necessarily the best athlete ever to play football, yet he has the best records. But what you're telling us is it's because of what he was willing to do that. The other part of the story I picked up on was you're running, you can't stay with him. You're probably thinking at that point of failure. You get to the top, you're going to say, best I've ever seen a quarterback do. How does that shift you? Many times we do things, and just because we didn't do it as well as someone else, we might not even know what we really have accomplished. And so we look as, oh gosh, I failed, instead of taking the victory that, you did the whole climb. Now, sure, then you found out that, hey, I even did it better than other quarterbacks. But even if he hadn't said that, you're 6'8" or whatever, and I, that's a load to do that. And you made it to the top. We got to own that greatness.
I got to say, as you're talking, Cree, it's awesome. All the engagement. There's so many people commenting in. Steffi Sue saying, go coach Cree. Helen, Cree, you're so awesome. Aaron, Cree is a beast. I mean, and I don't know if it was just the story or as you were saying it, everything was getting white around you. I mean, it was almost like you were just becoming angelic and just – but I see that you've now moved your screen, and now it's a little –
I'm sitting outside on the side of my house, and the sun's starting to come around. And so I'm trying to move so it's not so bright on the screen, because I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but I'm working on it. And Steffi Sue, I trained her son. He's a freshman down at an amazing freshman down at Helix High School. The kid's going to be an absolute beast. And unfortunately, he got hurt, so we're praying for quick recoveries for him. And, the kid's got an unbelievable future ahead of him, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that leads into my next question. Talking about an injury right there, that could be seen as a setback, a perceived setback. We've, with the clients and the athletes that we've worked with as performance coaches, we've always taken any kind of adversity and any kind of perceived setbacks and found, what's the good in this? How can we turn this into a positive, into a win? And a lot of our athletes have come back even not only just stronger physically when they come back from injury, but stronger mentally as well. And they just, not only did they not lose a step, but they actually up-leveled in that moment. So you can take any moment and turn it into a win if you see that as an opportunity. So talking about your career, you had some stints with the NFL. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because, the title of this, the best thing that never happened. What does that mean?
You know what? I was 11 years old, and my dad took me to a Rotary Club. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a business luncheon that everyone in town goes to, so to speak. And being his son and a kid, and they had me stand up and they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I'm going to be an NFL quarterback. and I was wearing a Roger Staubach jersey, believe it or not, because I grew up a Dallas fan, a Roger Staubach fan, and Tom Landry fan, and so you know, my whole mindset for my whole career was just to get to the NFL. That was it. It was to get there. I never knew how to adjust or take it to the next level in my goal setting. And so therefore my goal was to get to the NFL. Well, I was very fortunate to have 2 cups of coffee, as I call it, 2 training camps, you know, 94 with the Raiders, 95 with the Rams, and an unbelievable experience, some unbelievable gentlemen that I got to meet and be a part of and train with and work with. And but once I got there, I didn't know how to readjust. And so I ended up getting released both times, which was unfortunate. But at the same point, it probably was the best thing that ever happened to me, or that never happened to me, was making it. Because I've, for the last 19 years now, I've been training quarterbacks and working my craft and trying to make get to work with and give kids an opportunity to get into college, whether it be D1, D2, D3, any, it doesn't even matter. It's by giving them, you know, a helmet, a playbook, and a place to get an education. And so I've been very fortunate. I've 20 years, I've missed 1 year of football. My son got sick, and I wasn't able to coach, but I've been coaching now for 18 years in high school football all around San Diego County as an assistant, as a head coach, and just very thankful for that opportunity. Now I'm at Rancho Bernardo with Tristan McCoy and Brian Grunin and some great coaches over there that I get to work with and be the quarterback coach for, and coaching my son, which is a difficult ordeal, but enjoying it every day. But you know, had I made it in the NFL, I probably wouldn't have met you, Shane, or you, Dave. And who knows? That's the truth. And you know, people ask me all the time, would you have done anything different? And to be honest with you, you know, when I was much younger, I probably would have said yes. Class on baseball class and street focus and things, is I am so thankful for that journey. You know, I got to train with one of the greatest of all time, the greatest of all time, with Jerry Rice. I got to meet so many different people. I got to go travel the world because of football, and I'm so thankful for it. You know, I spent a year in the World League in London, going all over the World League. I got to play 2 years in the Arena League in San Jose and Iowa, and just so blessed looking back now and looking at pictures or reconnecting with old friends, guys I played with, and it was such an amazing journey. And that's something that I'd really like to share with the people that are listening right now, is enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. You know, everyone thinks it's the end goal, and we forget to live in the moment and just enjoy today and what we get a chance to do. And I'm thankful to be on this call with you guys, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have met both you guys and gone through your classes. And Shane, you know, every time we get together to train, we get to adjust something and tweak something and make it a little bit better. And every time I get to talk to you guys, that's how I feel, and growing forward with my mindset and where I'm heading.
Jeez. You know what? It is your most valuable asset is your mindset, is you know, and I love it. And when you talked about, you know, what's the best thing that never happened? You know, I had a client that I didn't ask it that way. I love the way it's being brought in this show today, but it was a client that he became a client when he was at junior college. He was a pitcher and kind of in a funk, because he had gone to, I think it was Long Beach State. I could be wrong, but I think it was Long Beach State on a scholarship, and he hurt his arm. And he lost his scholarship, had to leave school because he didn't have the money without a scholarship. And I asked him, you know, and then he went to Fresno State and then really started taking off. He was almost out of baseball. And I asked him, I said, what was the best thing that ever happened to you from this whole experience? And it sounds like I guess I'm boasting for myself. I don't mean it that way, but he goes,
yeah, you are.
You.
You know, you're awesome.
Yeah. You're awesome. No, but he goes, meeting you and seeing how I could turn anything into a positive. And as I speak about him right now, he's in his rookie year in Major League Baseball. He's playing his dream. And, you know, he was almost out. So never give up on your dream. And like you never gave up on your dream. Maybe, you know, your dream was to play the NFL. You got to play it. Maybe not for as long, but you never gave up on your dream of staying in football. You're now 19 years, 20 years into your professional career, you know, of coaching. And I'll tell you what, I love coaching. I love playing, but I love coaching too. And you know, your passion comes out, and that's why your athletes that are lucky enough to work with you, they feel that passion, because you've got all this great technique, but combined with passion and decisiveness, it's a winning formula. So Awesome.
And I can attest to him being a great coach since I've been a student of his. And, if anybody, the story just reminds me so much of, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He just posted a video just recently on his Instagram. And if anybody has seen that video, anybody knows what I'm talking about, it's the same title, Best Thing That Never Happened. Just comment Rock if you know what I'm talking about. We're on the same page here. But he talked about how his dream was the NFL, same thing. He went to CFL, got cut, like all these doors closed on him. And, we all know now how he's probably – I think he's the highest paid actor right now. So I'd say a few doors opened up because those doors closed. And, it goes to show, you know what, Cree, I'm glad that we have crossed paths the way that we did because you are an absolute rock. You are the Dwayne Johnson of coaching because I've been out there. We've trained together when I was with Drew Brees. I know I've seen now, how championship level training goes, and you were out there right there with us coaching that. And that was a fun experience just to not only be with you, and that was actually started working together, I believe. And but Drew Brees, one of the greatest, still one of my idols, is a guy that I look up to. And it's all there. It's great stuff. So and
Carson Palmer was there too.
He was.
I remember there was about 7 different NFL quarterbacks, but okay, I won't say. I love
Carson. That was a hell of a group we had back there.
Yeah. I love Carson Palmer.
We got people that know exactly. And Steffy Sue also says, and I love this, my son is excited about his comeback story, and Cree will be an integral part of it. And I truly believe that. I think it's one thing to achieve something, but it's so much sweeter, in my opinion, when you have to overcome something to achieve it. When there's some adversity that you have to push yourself. You have to go into what is within you to really reach out and achieve that. That is so much more rewarding, in my opinion.
We talked with you, Shane, about that. I know you're supposed to be in China right now.
Yeah.
Right? And the season got kicked back, and you were out here training. We were together and putting in some work. And like I said, you still have the video I posted with the most likes. I think we had something with 15,000 or whatever that number rose to. Just crazy.
That went viral.
It went viral.
Like this video will go.
And so exactly. And so, with you doing that and the preparation, you're all hopped up, ready to go. And then all of a sudden, okay, we're moving the season back. And some adversity there. You end up getting married and, trying to figure out when to go on your honeymoon and all these things. But what an awesome opportunity is now you get to do that stuff at a different time and then probably come back out, get some more work with me, a little tune-up before you head back to China. But, what an amazing season you're going to be able to have out there because of this journey.
Well, it's funny you mention that because today I noticed on my Facebook, actually, when it shares old memories or whatever, on this date a year ago is when I was actually hopping on the plane to go to China. So I would have been in the same mode going to China right now. Now it's going to be in the spring. But, if we take that mindset of any maybe perceived adversity, perceived limitation, and we see it as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity, somehow we're going to find that because it's whatever you put your focus on, we're going to find, right? So it's all about putting our focus on that opportunity and, living the journey, enjoying the journey. And we got Megan Austin in the house saying aloha. I got to say,
I love it. People
might recognize the last name. June 3rd is when we got married. I helped give her that last name, but it wasn't until just recently. It's not official until it's Facebook official. Now it's Facebook official. She is a Megan Austin, and she is joining in with the Aloha spirit.
Hey,
she's also a Rainbow Warrior.
Yeah, I got to say something, too, about having Megan Austin on. It's so awesome. Not just because she's your wife.
Awesome. I heard it.
But she's awesome. So, there it goes again. But anyway, she holds the 3-point record in 3 throws at University of Hawaii women's basketball. And so we have got to have her on the show. We got to have her on the show. We got to have her on the show.
We will. She also holds the record for most consecutive horse games won over me. I have not beat her at horse yet. It's ridiculous. But I want to, this has been an amazing discussion, and I hope I hope the viewers right now, I hope you are just enjoying your journey right now where you are on Aloha Friday, and you're taking something from this. That everybody, there's always setbacks, there's always perceived limitations, all this stuff. But if we find the opportunity in it, we can all enjoy the journey, whether it's the highs or the lows. We're going to enjoy all of it. We're going to enjoy the ride, because what fun is a roller coaster that goes like this, right? That's why roller coasters are fun, because they go up and down and loop around and turn around. That's life. But I want to ask you these, actually it's now 4 questions. Last week we had 3 questions that we're going to ask every one of our guests. I added a 4th just for fun. With time, we're already at the 30-minute mark. Yeah, absolutely.
First, Jason Botts, who's already been on this actually Aloha Friday a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This podcast, or one of his things he was doing. And we all have these perfect, we always have these visions of perfection. Yeah. When we think of our goals or whatever, it's a perfect, and he said it best. He goes, that's not reality. If you picture pitfalls and overcoming them, if you picture, adversity and overcoming it, he goes, it's never going to be about perfection. And so, I stopped using perfection that were training with me. And instead of being perfect, I tell them to chase greatness. They're chasing the greatness, to be great, not perfect. Because unless you can walk on, you can't be perfect. But I want them to chase greatness and to a journey. And remember, I've got a young man, he's a freshman, starting on varsity as a freshman. And, it's never going to be perfect for him. About just trust us in the journey, work on your footwork, and how important that truly is to succeed in life. In fact, I thought I was going to be an NFL guy, a 15-year starter, all these on my mind. My mindset was just to get there. And when that didn't happen, now I've gotten to coach kids and touch lives and be a part of people's lives and their family. And they call me, once a week, or they call me, send me today from the dad at Ohio Northern University. We had last week, and the game stats coming up for this weekend. And I love spending time with these guys and getting to enjoy their lives as they chase their own greatness.
You're enjoying your journey, and you're enjoying their journey at the same time. It's all one giant world that we're enjoying together, and I love it. Well, I want to say right here, Samuel, as long as my roller coaster doesn't go in reverse. Have you never been on those roller coasters that start back first and then they shoot you even faster forward? Sometimes you got to go back to go forward, right? So, hey, even if you're going in reverse on your roller coaster, just wait. It's about to shoot forward if you take that mindset.
In our Beast Mode Elite, we have the monkey's called Go Baffo. Go back to propel yourself forward. So even going back, it's okay. It's taking on anything. I mean, it's all on our mindset, how we take on anything. Now, I know your internet's going to lull in and out, so it's not perfect, but we're chasing greatness anyway, and we're hearing enough. But I have a question for you. Who inspires you the most, either as a player or a coach? Who's your biggest role model?
Oh, no. Come on, service. Come on, connection. Find that Wi-Fi. Hey, this is what happens in the journey. Sometimes you just got to say, oh, well, when you hit adversity, you hit setbacks, you hit Wi-Fi connections, and I really want to hear these answers. So hopefully Cree can find
Let me ask you this, Shane, just while we're waiting for him, if he comes back on or not, who is who inspires you the most? I know this is putting you on the spot. No prep, no nothing.
I'm bringing Cree back in, but I will answer. I did get to train with him like we talked about. I trained with Drew Brees. He was always an idol that I looked up to because he was a guy that was just an icon, not just an icon, but he walked.
He had eye contact.
Yeah, we're the same height. So, but no, he walks his walk. He walks with faith, and he just owns it. He's a guy. He's a man of integrity. He's an athlete that actually doesn't put on that bad name that a lot of athletes sometimes get. He lives out the things that he says, and I look up to that as well. So, Cree, who's your biggest role model? Oh no.
He's frozen again. I can't believe it.
Of course, I take the answer when we have him, and then when we ask him, then it freezes. All right. Well, why don't I ask you? Who's your biggest role model?
Wow. Gosh. Then now you put me on the spot. Who is my biggest role model? Depends in sports or in life. You know what?
Reggie answered for you. 10 years from now, me.
There we go, Reggie. I'm all right. I love it. You're a champion for the champion. Oh, yeah, I got it. My dad. My dad.
Nice.
I mean, he led the charge at Iwo Jima, and he didn't have to, and he did it without a weapon. He was a chaplain. He had a big cross on his helmet, so he was like the target practice for the Japanese. Very bloody battle, but he did it with a Bible, and that inspires me so much. Whenever I start going, well, I don't know if I can do this, and I think, well, wait a minute. My dad could take on machine gun fire for what he believed in. I can't go do that, and that has allowed me to go places I would have never even dreamed of going, because I think about what my dad's courage was, your grandfather's courage of taking on machine gun fire. And when I asked him, Dad, why? You didn't have to be out in front. He says, well, that's where I was needed most. And that just is so powerful. And I love my Marines. And so he lived a life that it was truly, for me, a champion's life.
I see Cree is actually, I can see him in the lobby section. He's going inside to get, I love the palm trees, but he's going inside to get some Wi-Fi connection. But while he's getting set up right now, I want to bring in Reggie again. Cree taught me always get 1% better no matter what you are doing. And I love that, because in the journey, every day, every moment you're out there, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. We never stay the same. So if you can at least focus on getting 1% better, in the long run, you're going to be 10 times better. So Cree, do we hear you now? Are you in?
I got you guys. There we go.
Yes, we got it. All right. Let's hear your biggest role model. Now it's a fire round. Now we're just going to throw out questions at you.
Biggest role model. You mean like right this minute or growing up?
You're growing up.
Yeah, pretty simple. I think it's my dad. He's the hardest working man I know. And growing up, he'd leave the house at 4 a.m. and wouldn't return till, sometimes 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'd hear him up the next morning doing the same thing. And his work ethic and his devotion to the family and really instilled a lot of me in taking care of my two boys and everything I'm trying to accomplish with them and just grinding. He's the ultimate grinder. He's an old Texas boy, and he was the man of the house by himself at 12 and, dropped out of high school to take care of his mom and then ended up, with 4 kids and me being the youngest. And hands down, he would be my biggest role model.
Jeez, awesome. Well, I know I stole your question, Dave, but it's my question. Is now we're gonna roll reverse. Now that where you're at now, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, we had a time machine. What would you, now knowing what you know now, what's one thing you would tell your younger self?
To just believe in yourself. And I have to deal with this with my kids now that I train, especially my young guys and my guys. Is so many times there's so many haters, naysayers, doubters. And it's not what, it doesn't matter what anyone says. I could easily bring up Wotar here, but the point being really is just about believing in yourself. I mean, I wasn't supposed to make it to college. I always started as a senior in high school. I wasn't supposed to make it, through college. I got to 2 colleges. I wasn't supposed to make it to the NFL. I did. I wasn't supposed to make it to the Arena League or the World League. I did. And, I think I had to be allowing myself to play my best. And that's something that I think affected me for a long time. And even in the last, 15 years in relationships or dealing with certain situations is, if you allow other people into your head and to start hearing what they're saying, it's going to affect how you live and what you want. And it's really about the words you put into your thoughts, and your thoughts become your actions, actually become your results. And so now I really put different words into my head, and it's really changing how I approach each day, of how I attack each day. And Dave, you and I talked a little bit earlier. I had a kind of a rough week, and I could easily have been, down the rabbit hole, so to speak. And because of the words I put in my head, I didn't sweat it. It was like, oh, well, I got this. And I made it through the week, and I had an extremely busy day and love that I get to go coach tonight. And it's going to be a long day, but, boy, I love
it. That's awesome. And Aaron comes in. You got to bend with them, the bamboo, as Hammer and Hank Austin.
You bet.
Hey,
my dad would hit the foxholes, machine gun fire going off. And he goes, son, do you know the 11th commandment? And they go, 11th commandment? I can't even think of any of the 10 right now. I didn't know the 11. He goes, let me tell you the 11th commandment. Stay loose and don't get shook and bend with the bamboo. So thank you, Aaron, for throwing that in.
All right.
So I got another question. Hey, so you got fans out here, right, that know you. I've seen a lot of people who really respect what you do. But what's your hobby outside of football? What's something we don't know about? What's something we don't know about Cree Morris that you love to do? What's your hobby?
I grew up until 8th grade. I rode motorcycles, and because of sports and athletics, I stopped riding them. Now I still got on them here and there, but not very much because trying to play, I didn't want to get hurt, and I have enough battle scars from motorcycles as it is. But I had a motorcycle. It was a Baja, built with street legal, but it was really built for the desert. And what people don't know about me is I actually love to ride. That's one of the most freeing, closest to God, in my opinion, because you're so close to nature when you're not cooped up in an auto.
So close to death.
Yeah, pretty much. But at the same time, it's so freeing, and any chance I get now, which is very rarely, but if I do get a chance, I'm gonna hop on a bike and go for a ride.
That's
Cool.
That's awesome. I'm saying awesome again. Jeez. Thank you, Jen. So final question. This is a big one. I love this one. Now you've played football your whole life. Now you coach it. What's the biggest life lesson you could say? If you could narrow it down to one, I know there's a lot. What's the biggest life lesson you've learned from either your sport or now your coaching career?
The biggest life lesson.
Or just one of them.
I'd probably give you two real quick. Number one is if you get knocked down, you got to get back up. And that's truth in life. It's truth in sports. It's truth in business. Guys lose millions of dollars.
You talked about it.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, football is a game. I remember freshman year, I'd never played tackle football. I didn't play Pop Warner. I didn't play until I was in high school. I took off on a run, not knowing what the hell I was doing. Obviously, I was a freshman with no training. And I got hit so hard, it felt like I threw 15 yards. This guy ear-holed me, and I never saw him coming. And I got back up, and I figured, if that's hard as I can get hit, I'll be okay. That would be number one. Number two is, honestly, how to deal with people. And dealing with, now as a coach, all your players, and not knowing what's going on in their lives and having to understand and, dealing with all your teammates. The one thing that's said often in the NFL circles, what do you miss most? And normally it's not the game. It's the socialize, the time we got in the locker room with those guys. I know, Shane, you've got some real close friends over in your wedding from the Cleveland Gladiators, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Or Hawaii, possibly. But it's those guys, the guys you spent time with, the guys you went to war with, as we say, that you get to spend, literally day in, day out. And then the highs and lows of the sport, just like business. If you're working with a business partner every single day and you're in the room with them every single day, you're running those highs and lows. And those are the two things I miss. I would say that I've learned the most is you get knocked down, you got to get back up. But the relationships you build through the locker room, through the team, through the aspiring is learning how to deal with people and so many different walks of life, especially once you get to college. High school, we're all in one town for the most part. You know everybody and everyone knows you. But when you get to college, you deal with guys from across the country, heck, maybe from Canada, maybe from Mexico. You never know. And just building those relationships is so important.
That's so true. And I love how this is the second time we've done these same questions, and it's the second time we've come full circle with the main topic going into the biggest life lesson. It's like you're just saying it, how your journey, sometimes you get knocked down in your journey, and it's about getting back up, because you might get back up a little bit stronger each time. And that's just beautiful how we all wrapped it up. I'm also grateful for this journey, this 43 minutes now that we're into this, and we still have a bunch of people here live with us, and some people have been coming in, and we got Dave over here with his pineapple.
I can't count the pineapple, Dave. You win, buddy.
This is going to be a competition now. I can see this. Every guest is going to try to out-aloha Dave. So that's going to be a new hashtag. Who can out-aloha Dave? And then
Aloha.
Steffy coming back. Cree is such a blessing, such a genuine and authentic person. I couldn't agree more. And Christie, fall 7 times, get back up 8. Hey, however many times you fall down, what does that teach us? It teaches us to get back up and keep moving, as Cree has done, as we've all done. Everybody has our journey, has their own journey that we're all riding. And we all have our own setbacks and our own valleys that we got to get through sometimes, but it's that perseverance that makes it, so much worth it in the end, and appreciating it every single moment. Learn, be grateful for where you were, grateful for where you are now, but also grateful for where you're headed. Eye on the prize. So great talk. Cree, where can people find you? If anybody wanted to get a hold of you, get in contact with you, they just absolutely loved you. Where can people go to find you?
You go to my website. It's www.toolqb.com, or on Facebook, just Cree Morris. My number's on my Facebook. I'm also, on Instagram as QB Coach, and on Twitter as the QB Coach. So any of those two places, be more than happy to talk with anyone I can help with, whether it be through the mental extreme coaches, focus coaching, and or football. Or if they just have some questions, maybe I can help them out with in their daily walk. Let me know.
Well, I know I'll be reaching out to you next time I'm out in California. Got to get my my mechanics right. So thank you, Cree, for taking the time. I enjoyed this. I enjoy doing all of these, and hopefully, you watching, whoever you are, all of you guys that have stayed with us, you guys enjoyed this. Cree is a rock star. Every Friday, we're going to be coming at you, Aloha Friday. We're going to be bringing the love, bringing the aloha every time, and it can be something that you can apply to your life right now in this moment. And I've had a blast. Dave, have you had a good time today?
Love it, man. Love it. The more we can share, the more people can find out that the world doesn't have to dictate who they are.
Yeah.
When you finally learn that, you know what, you can make those decisions from within, then you can be a champion no matter what. Because for 20-some years, NFL, Major League Baseball, and I don't care who you are, you get told all the time that you can't do something. You are another example of it. But when you tell the world who you are rather than letting the world tell you who you are, then you're living. Then you're living full.
Amen. Amen. And mahalo, as Christie says. Now, can you pronounce that whole thing, Cree? What's that?
Mahalo nui loa.
Nice. That is pretty good. Hey, that
not
ain't bad.
Not bad.
You
Not bad.
You got a little Hawaiian. It's the Aloha shirt. I think that's what
it is.
Yeah. When he takes the beads off and takes the shirt off, yeah, he won't be able to pronounce it the moment he takes off the magic.
Well, anyways, thank you all for staying on. As long as you guys all have, mahalo to all of you guys. Reach out to Cree if you want to reach out to all of us. We're, Extreme Focus. I'm, Aloha Friday host, my co-host, Dave Austin.
Hey, sign up. Oh, make sure you get notified.
Yeah. No, you actually can. In the top right, I think, top left, if somebody can know, put it in the comments. But I believe if you hit those 3 dots up there, you can actually get notified every time when we go live. If you want to be on every time, if you want to feel the Aloha vibe, even if it's not Friday, go check out the replays. We got a YouTube playlist as well. Go to Extreme Focus TV. The playlist is Aloha Fridays. You can check out any of the replays. Check out the replays on here. Shoot, follow all of our pages. And again, it's an abundance aloha world we live in, if we all choose to see it that way. So aloha to you guys. Aloha, viewers.
Much love, yo. That's what aloha. Much love.
Amen.